Hey guys, so today I kind of want to discuss two different topics. I want to discuss perfection and I want to talk about social media a little bit and how it impacts our lives and our relationships and how to, limit our phone time and kind of focus on our loved ones a little more because I know that some people get so caught up in everything that's going on your phones or, you know, um, the news, which, the news is important to see what's going on. Social media is a way to kind of interact and everything, but phones aren't always necessary. So I first want to start with perfection. I have always struggled with wanting to be perfect. I'm actually planning to get a tattoo on my arm. That's a quote that's meaningful to me. Not right now. Unfortunately, guys, I was exposed to somebody who tested positive for the coronavirus, and this past weekend I started feeling kind of like a tickly sensation in my throat and coughing a little bit. Today, yesterday, because this is nighttime and it was yesterday morning, I woke up and I just felt sick, like my ears were bothering me, and I thought, maybe it's just like an ear infection or strep because my throat was kind of hurting. Well, I went in and they took my temperature and I had a low grade, like 100.3, which is not too bad. But they immediately had me sit outside and go to my car, and they're like, okay, we're going to test you for the coronavirus. And they also tested me for flu and strep. Excuse me. So that's really worrisome because the strep and flu came back negative. And so now I'm just waiting on the coronavirus results. Should be here within the next couple of days. Anyway, I've gotten off topic, but I just wanted to let y'all know that if I look a little tired or something, it's because I'm not feeling 100%. But anyway, so let's discuss perfection. As I said, I'm gonna get a tattoo when the places, I think tattoo places are open now, but I'm not planning to go to them. But I'm going to ask y'all a question. And y'all can comment on my videos and share your personal experiences because I kind of want to hear them. I want to hear about a time, where you felt like, you made a mistake and it was something that maybe you didn't take well, or the mistake just ate you alive, so to speak. Like I've had plenty of those moments where I make a mistake and it's like I'm only human, but it's like I beat myself up over and over again. Like you're your own worst enemy, and you gotta just try to find a way to not beat yourself up. It's so hard for me. I still struggle with that. I talked about the confidence thing. I am confident, but whenever I make a mistake, it's like my confidence gets shot down a little bit. And I don't know if any of y'all feel like that, but me personally, I do. It's like, at work or whatever, you want to do everything right, but that's just not really realistic because mistakes are going to happen. And it's like everybody makes mistakes, But, what about the really big mistakes that cause troubles, like in relationships or, something you said to somebody that hurt them, or, someone hurt you? How do you get through that? Like, how do you cope with that? And I guess, like, for me, the longest time, I would say something to somebody that maybe I didn't necessarily mean. I was just mad or whatever. And I would end up hating myself for it, like just not being able to forgive and forget. And that's so difficult for me personally. And I have to just now try to forgive myself, because you have to forgive yourself. Like, forgiveness is important. We're only human, we're not robots. And it's funny because I work at a place that it's run by robots. Like, they make all the gas tanks, they make everything. We just inspect it. And even they mess up. Like, the robots mess up. And people, I've always used the analogy, like, I'm not a robot. But robots make mistakes, like they're not even perfect. So, um, yeah, you have to like accept that mistakes will happen. And I guess for me, while I'm talking about it, is I have such difficulty with that. And I don't know if anybody else has felt like this, but um, it can really mess with your day, like feeling like that, feeling like you can't mess up, feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to do this right, I have to do this, and overthinking, like, what if this happens? What if I don't do this right? Sometimes you just have to take a step back and be like, okay, but what if I do this great? I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. This is gonna go well. If I mess up, it's okay. I found that just talking to myself, looking in the mirror, saying these things, um, it really does help. Or even just saying the thoughts quietly in your head. If you're around other people and you don't want to be like talking to yourself, because I've had a habit of doing that before. I don't know if anybody else has, but I tend to talk to myself sometimes. So yeah, it's kind of like you just gotta like tell yourself these things. And eventually, the more you say it and say it and say it and say it, you eventually like start to believe it. At least that's how it was for me. Um, so anyway, to wrap this topic up, because I still have another topic, um, message is nobody is perfect. Nobody at all. We're all gonna mess up. We're all gonna mess up in relationships. There's gonna be problems, at work. There's going to be issues in everyday life. We're not always going to say or do the right thing. We just, as humans, we have to accept that. And for some people, not everybody, that's hard. Um, you know, there's, especially when there's been a lot of pressure. Like when I was a dancer, there was so much pressure on me and on all my friends that I danced with to be, you got to be perfect. Like they wanted the dances to be almost perfect. Like if you mess up, if you're not on time, if you're one beat off, you're gonna have to start it over and do it and do it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I feel like that is because ballet is a serious thing. I mean, I was in a pre-professional program, and I'm glad that I didn't decide to be a professional dancer, because I just couldn't. I would eat myself up, over trying to be perfect. But yeah, it did teach me discipline though. It taught me very much so discipline. But anyway, messages. I tend to go on a rant, and I'm sorry. Messages. Nobody can be perfect. Nobody. It's just impossible. And forgive and forget. That's a message that I try to tell myself. Forgive and forget. And some people have a harder time forgiving than others. And that's a challenge. I used to not be able to forgive very well, holding grudges sometimes. But sometimes you just kind of have to, take a deep breath, take a step back, realize that it's okay. Forgive yourself, forgive others, move on. All right, end of that discussion. So the next topic I want to talk about is about social media and how me personally, I've had so many issues with it. I've deleted my Facebook before because of it. I've deleted my Instagram because of it. And I have Pinterest, I have Instagram, I have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Snapchat. I used to have Snapchat, but that's become a big issue, I feel like. And now there's this new thing called TikTok where you can, create like dance videos, which, it sounds fun. I don't really know what it's all about. But social media has become so like well known. Like everybody has it. Like even, kids are starting at such a young age to have like Instagram accounts. Um, like I'm following a dancer that her account is monitored by her parents, which is good, and I respect that. Um, I got a phone when I was 10 or 11 only because I'd be at dance rehearsals and I would need a way to contact my mom and dad when it was over. So that was like the reason I got a phone. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gotten one until I was at least like 12 or 13. Um, because when I was in middle school, there wasn't all this hype about it. It was just, there was Facebook, and I think I created my Facebook when I was 12. But yeah, for me, previous relationships, romantic relationships, there would be like times where, you know, a guy that I was with would, like a photo of a girl, and it would just bring this like feeling of, oh no, like he thinks she's prettier than me because he liked her photo. And it would cause me to freak out and get jealous and start feeling that insecurity. And I'm sure others have felt that way before. You don't really want to see your boyfriend or fiance or husband or whatever liking somebody else's photo. Some people might not be bothered by that, but people like me, they might get sensitive about that. And there's so many ways, easy ways to be, interacting with other people, like with Snapchat and everything. Like, you can have these conversations, you can send these pictures, and they can just disappear. And I don't like that. That's why I don't have it personally, because one, I respect my husband, and I don't feel the need to have Snapchat, because why would I need to have that? Um, Instagram and Facebook is enough for me. And personally, like, I go on Instagram or Facebook because, I might be bored and it's like something to do. But, then I'm like, there's other ways that I can entertain myself, like reading a book or, going outside, enjoying the weather. Like, there's so many ways, but um, I don't know. I feel like sometimes we just need to take a step back and put our phones down and focus on our family, focus on building up our relationship, just focus on each other, because love is the most important thing in this world. Love comes first. My husband comes first before my job. Like, family, my husband, like, they're all first. Um, you know, Social media is not that important. And I get that a lot of people might have somebody that lives far away and they need it to communicate, and that's okay. But limit your time, like, on your phone. I just see so many people, on them, like, just places that you shouldn't be on them. Especially the biggest thing is when you're going out on a date or something, and you're sitting there and you're on your phone and you're not giving that person your 100% attention, which is not good. And also making, that eye contact, talking is great because it prepares you for job interviews and, just important things that you need to be successful in this world. But yeah, I just feel like putting the phone down is a good way to connect. I mean, we have to connect. Social interaction is important. It's healthy, and it keeps people, I feel, for me, like, not sad. Like, it lifts you up. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Facebook. I like Instagram. I like going on there, looking at cute little videos, seeing everybody's stuff. And it's nice. But I also like spending time with people, like, and not worrying about my phone so much. But if you want to, you can let me know what you think about it and tell me your perspective on it, if you agree or whatnot. But because everybody has their opinions on it. Some people use it for their jobs. Like, some people use the social media for it, and that's fine. I'm not against social media at all. What I'm against is when it starts to affect your personal relationships with people, and ruin those relationships, because I've had relationships ruined because of it. It causes so much tension and just negativity, and we don't need negativity. We already have negativity right now going on with the virus that is such a big deal. I mean, it's a serious thing. It really is. And hopefully this quarantine has, helped people really, like, be with their families. And I really hope that it's taught people, like, anything can happen. Tomorrow, we don't know what tomorrow will bring. Gotta live every day in the moment, live it to the fullest. Give hugs. I can't really right now. I'm supposed to be keeping my distance. But don't forget to do these things. Tell people you love them. Tell people you're there for them. Give them your love and support. Be there for them. Hopefully this has taught people to just slow down a little bit. I feel like we're always in such a rush to, just go to work, go to work, go to work. Like, do all these daily things. We get in a routine and we forget, like, hey, they need my love. Like, they need my affection. Sometimes we get in a bad mood and we don't necessarily want to like give that affection. Because I've been there. But anyway, that got off the topic of social media, but it kind of goes along with it because it's like, put the phone down, spend time together. So that pretty much wraps up my video. It was a little bit longer than my last one, but I plan to hopefully do some vlogging, like I've said, of just like life stuff. My cats, because I still haven't introduced y'all to my cats yet. So they're pretty cool. But anyway, I hope y'all continue to stay safe, and yeah, just have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.